For years, people have been asking the wrong question. They ask, what do I need to do to get what I want? They make lists, they work hard, and they often end up frustrated, wondering why their life hasn't truly changed. It's because they are missing the first, most important piece of the puzzle. The right question is not, what do I do? The right question is, who must I become? The answer to that second question is the key that unlocks everything else. Today, we will explore the most powerful force for personal change on the planet, a goal, but not as a to-do list, as a blueprint for becoming the person capable of achieving anything. Good evening. The ancient texts, the books of wisdom that have guided humanity for millennia, give us a powerful and sobering warning. They tell us in no uncertain terms that without dreams and a vision for our future, we perish. Now, that's a strong word, isn't it? Perish. It doesn't say we will be less happy. It doesn't say we will be less successful. It says we perish. And how true that is. This perishing is not necessarily a physical death. It is a slower, quieter, and perhaps more tragic kind of death. It is the death of the spirit. It is the slow fading of the vibrant colors of life into a dull, monotonous gray. A life without a clear dream, without a compelling vision pulling you forward, is a life of quiet desperation. It is a journey without a destination, a ship without a rudder. Think of that ship for a moment. It is a magnificent vessel, equipped with sails and a strong mast, capable of crossing any ocean. But without a destination, without a specific point on the map to navigate towards, what is it? It is merely a floating object. It is subject to the whims of the wind and the mercy of the current. It drifts. Some days the weather is calm and it floats pleasantly. Other days storms come and it is tossed and turned, battered and broken, having no say in its own course. This is how most people live their lives. They are magnificent vessels full of untapped potential, but they are drifting. They react to the weather of their circumstances. If the economy's good, they feel good. If their boss is in a bad mood, they have a bad day. They are not the captain of their own ship. They are merely a passenger, hoping the currents will be kind. This is the state of perishing the old text warned us about. But tonight, I want to suggest to you that the opposite of that statement is just as true and infinitely more exciting. If it is true that without dreams we perish, then it must also be true that with dreams we are reborn. With a powerful, well-defined dream, we are no longer who we used to be. We can be transformed, molded, and reshaped in ways we never imagined possible. This is the second great truth, and it is the central theme of our discussion today. The subject of goal setting is not merely a mechanical process of writing a to-do list for your life. It is an art form. It is a spiritual practice. It is the single most powerful force for personal change available to a human being. Today, we are going to explore this force. We will not just talk about how to get the things you want. We will talk about how the very act of pursuing those things can begin to shape who you are. How a well-defined dream can touch every part of your life, your mind, your spirit, your very presence, and little by little transform you into someone entirely new, someone astonishing. This is the alchemy of ambition. This is the transforming power of a dream. Let me tell you the story of a man. This man is a good person. He works hard. He is sincere, but his life is a blur. He wakes up, goes to work, comes home, eats, rests, and goes to bed. His days are a monotonous repetition. He feels a quiet, nagging sense that there should be more to life, but he doesn't know what it is. He is drifting. Then one day, an idea takes root in his mind. Not just a fleeting wish, but a real compelling idea. The idea of starting his own small business. At first, it's just a thought, but he allows himself to entertain it. He gets a notebook and starts to write down a few thoughts. What would it be called? Who would his customers be? The moment he puts that pen to paper, something profound happens. He is no longer the same person. The next morning, he doesn't just wake up, he wakes up with a purpose. He starts listening to the financial news on the radio during his commute, not just music. At the library, he finds himself in the business section, not the fiction section. He overhears a conversation between two people at a coffee shop about a problem he knows his business idea could solve, a conversation he would have been deaf to just a week before. His circumstances have not changed. He still has the same job, the same bills, the same 24 hours in a day. But his perception has been completely rewired. He is no longer a drifter. He is now a navigator. He has a destination. And the entire world begins to look different through the eyes of a navigator. This is the first great magic of a goal. It does not change the world around you. It changes the lens through which you see the world. But we must make a critical distinction here. We must distinguish between a true, life-altering dream and its weak and powerless cousin, the idle daydream. A daydream is a passive escape. It is the act of looking at a beautiful picture of a place you will never visit. It is a movie you watch in your mind to temporarily numb the pain of your current reality. A daydream is often a confession of powerlessness. A true dream, a worthy goal, is an active commitment. It is not a picture you look at, it is a blueprint you intend to build. One is a fantasy, the other is a project. The first step in transforming a fantasy into a project is one of the simplest and yet most profound acts of creation. You must write it down. The Bible, a book of incredible psychological wisdom, tells us of the power of the word. The act of writing down your goals is the first act of incarnation. It is the process of taking a fleeting, ethereal thought from the invisible world of your mind and giving it a physical form in the visible world. Until your goal is written down, it is just a vapor, a wish, a fragile idea that can be blown away by the first wind of doubt or the first cynical comment from a neighbor. But once it is written, it becomes a statement of intent. It is a contract you have made with yourself. It is something you can look at, review, and hold. It is the first brick laid in the foundation of your new life. This brings us to the most profound lesson on the subject of goal setting. And it might be the most important idea I can share with you tonight. The true value of setting goals is not in achieving them. The value is not in the thing you get at the end of the journey. The true, lasting, and most precious prize is in what you become in the process of achieving them. Let me ask you a question. What is the greatest benefit of becoming a millionaire? Is it the $1 million? I would suggest to you, with all the conviction of my being, that it is not. The $1 million is a secondary reward. The real value of becoming a millionaire is in the person you were forced to become to acquire that $1 million. Think of the skills you had to learn, the discipline you had to develop, the understanding of the marketplace, of economics, of people. Think of the courage you had to find to face the setbacks and the winters of your journey. Think of the resourcefulness, the creativity, the self-respect, the personal power that was forged in the fire of that ambition, that the person you become is the real goal. If you give $1 million to someone who has not earned it through this process of personal growth, the odds are overwhelming that they will lose it. Why? Because they never became the kind of person who is capable of managing it. They have the money, but they do not have the millionaire mindset. But if you take everything away from a person who has earned their wealth through the process of becoming, something remarkable will happen. Before long, they will have it all back and more. Because the money was never the real reward. Who they became in the process, the skills, the discipline, the character, that was the prize. And that is a prize no one can ever take away from you. So, this changes everything. This means the primary purpose of your goals is not to get, but to grow. Your goals are a tool for your own evolution. This leads us to the most important question you must ask yourself as you begin to architect your new life. It is not, what do I need to get? The life-altering question is this: what kind of person must I become in order to attract all that I truly want? Write that question down. And then begin to write down your answers. What skills will you need to learn? What knowledge will you need to gain? What strengths of character must you build? That list becomes your personal roadmap for development. Because, as we will explore, your income will rarely exceed your personal growth. And do not be overwhelmed by this question. Do not let the gap between who you are now and who you must become intimidate you. Here is something I have found to be true. Your ability will grow to match your dreams. That is the power of the process. As you begin to take the first small steps towards your goal, new doors will open. New ideas will emerge. You will meet new people. You will discover strengths within you that you never knew you had. You do not need to be fully equipped before you begin the journey. You will grow into the person you need to be along the way. The man I was 25 years ago, when I first met my mentor, Mr. Schoaf, that man is a stranger to me now. I have changed. I have grown, and so can you. This is the promise. This is the power of a dream. So, if this is the profound nature of a goal, how do we begin? How do we craft these powerful blueprints? How do we ask in a way that begins the machinery of receiving? How do we use these goals to manage our lives and our priorities? That is the journey we are about to embark on. We will explore the alchemy of ambition, the art of setting worthy goals, the mechanics of receiving, and the strategy of a well-lived life. But it all begins here with the two great truths. Without a dream you perish, but with a dream you are reborn. Give yourself a chance to be reborn. Give yourself permission to become all that you are capable of becoming. In our introduction, we established the two great opposing truths of life. That without a dream we perish in a state of quiet desperation, and that with a dream we are reborn. But what does that truly mean? Reborn, transform. These are powerful words, but they can feel abstract. How precisely does a simple goal, a mere idea held in the mind, possess the power to so fundamentally alter a human being? Today, we are going to explore this mystery. We are going to dissect the process of personal alchemy. We are going to look under the hood of human ambition and understand the mechanics of how a single, well-defined goal can begin to rewire your very being. To do this, we must first understand the state from which we are being reborn. We must first paint an honest picture of a life without a powerful driving goal. It is the life of the drifter. The drifter is not a bad person. They are often a good person, a sincere person, a hard-working person. But their life lacks a central organizing principle. They are a ship, as we've said, without a rudder and without a destination. Let's look at the drifter's day. They wake up in the morning and the first question in their mind is not, how can I advance my purpose today? The first question is, what does the world demand of me today? They turn on their phone and their day is immediately hijacked by the agendas of others. The emails, the news alerts, the social media feeds. They live in a state of perpetual reaction. They are a billiard ball, knocked from one task to the next by the cue stick of external demands. They go through their day busy, yes, often exhausted. But it is the busyness of maintenance, not the busyness of progress. They are treading water, not swimming for a distant shore. At the end of the day, they feel a vague sense of unfulfillment, a nagging feeling that another day has slipped by without anything of significance being accomplished. They are perishing, not in a dramatic flame out, but in a slow, imperceptible fading of their own potential. Now, let us observe the moment of ignition, the moment a true goal arrives. A goal, a worthy dream, is a spark that lands in the dry kindling of the drifter's soul. And when it catches, a fire begins to burn. And this fire, this new internal heat, changes everything. The moment you lock in on a goal that truly matters to you, you are not the same person you were the moment before. A profound shift occurs. The Bible tells us, behold, I make all things new. And a new worthy goal does just that. As the transcript we are studying suggests, your very presence begins to change. You walk differently. The drifter shuffles, their gaze often downward, moving from one obligation to the next. The person with a goal strides. There is a new purpose in their step. They are not just walking, they are advancing. They are on a mission. You talk differently. The drifter's conversation is dominated by the past. They talk about what happened, about their problems, about the news, about other people. The person with a goal, their conversation begins to bend toward the future. They talk about ideas. They talk about possibilities. They ask different questions. Their vocabulary begins to change from the language of complaint to the language of creation. And you think differently. The entire filtering mechanism of your mind is rewired. Let me explain what I mean. Your brain is a magnificent but overwhelmed instrument. It is bombarded with millions of bits of information every second. To keep from going insane, it has a built-in filtering system. It only allows you to perceive what it believes is relevant and important to you. When you don't have clear goals, what does your brain filter for? It filters for comfort, for threats, and for distractions. It is in survival mode. But the moment you give your brain a new, clear, and emotionally charged goal, you have given a new set of instructions to the gatekeeper of your perception. You have told your brain, this is what is important now. Find me anything related to this. Have you ever had the experience of deciding you want to buy a specific model of a car you rarely noticed before, and then suddenly you see it everywhere? On the highway, in the parking lot, in your neighborhood. Did the number of those cars on the road suddenly increase overnight? Of course not. The cars were always there. The difference is you gave your brain a new target to look for. Your perception of reality was altered. A goal does the same thing for opportunity. When your goal is to build a successful business, you will start to overhear conversations about market gaps you were deaf to before. You will notice articles and books on subjects that were previously invisible to you. You will see the needs of people in a new light. The opportunities, like the cars, were always there. You simply did not have the filter to perceive them. A goal turns your mind into a powerful, heat-seeking missile for the very things you need to succeed. This internal rewiring then begins to affect the external world through a powerful principle: the power to say no. One of the greatest challenges in modern life is the sheer volume of distractions. The endless stream of trivialities that compete for your most precious asset, your attention. For the drifter, it is nearly impossible to say no. On what basis do they decide? If you have no destination, any path will do. Any request seems reasonable. But a person with a worthy goal has been given a powerful gift. They have been given a new, ruthless standard for decision making. For every request, for every opportunity, for every invitation, they can now ask one simple question: does this move me closer to my goal? If the answer is yes, they engage with their full energy. If the answer is no, they can decline with confidence and without guilt. The goal becomes the ultimate time management system. It automatically filters out the unimportant and allows you to focus your energy on what truly matters. It is the North Star that keeps you from being lured by the siren songs of distraction. This internal rewiring, this new perception, and this new power of decision creates a powerful new energy. And this new energy begins to attract a new reality. This is not a mystical process. It is a practical one. When you walk, talk, and think with a sense of purpose, you become a different person. And the world responds to this new person differently. People are drawn to clarity and conviction. Let me tell you a story about a woman who worked as a quiet administrator in a large company. She was good at her job, but she was invisible. She was a drifter. One day she conceives a goal to organize a charity drive within the company that will have a real impact on her community. Suddenly, she is not the same person. She has to learn new skills. She has to step out of her comfort zone and speak to department heads. At first, she is nervous, but her goal is more powerful than her fear. People in the company who barely knew her name before start to see a new light in her eyes. They see her passion. They see her conviction. Her new energy is attractive. They start to say yes to her. They offer their help. They connect her with resources. She is not just seeing opportunities anymore, she is attracting them. And in the process of pursuing the goal, she is becoming a leader. She is becoming more valuable. This is the alchemy. The goal did not just give her a project to do. The goal gave her a new self. And this leads to a final profound truth from our original text. Your ability will grow to match your dreams. Do not make the mistake of thinking you must already be the person who can achieve your great goal. That is not how it works. You set the goal, and the pursuit of the goal is what forges you into the person who is capable of achieving it. The challenge of the goal is the very thing that calls forth the hidden talents and the dormant powers within you. The goal is a personal trainer for your character. It will demand that you become more disciplined. It will demand that you become more courageous. It will demand that you learn things you did not know. It will demand that you become a better version of yourself. This is the true alchemy of ambition. It is the process by which a goal takes the base metal of your current self and, through the fire of focused effort and the pressure of new challenges, transforms it into the gold of your future self. So do not be afraid to set a goal that seems too big for you right now. A goal that does not stretch you will not grow you. This is the power we are here to unlock. Now that we understand how a goal begins, this profound process of rewiring our very being, we must turn our attention to the next logical step. The power of this alchemy is directly proportional to the quality of the goal itself. A small, uninspiring goal will create a small, insignificant change. A great, worthy, and inspiring goal, well, that has the power to create a magnificent life. That is why, in our next session, we must learn the art of the architect, setting goals worthy of you. In our last session, we explored the profound, almost mystical power of a goal. We discovered that the moment a person commits to a worthy dream, a process of alchemy begins. Their walk changes, their talk changes, their very perception of the world is rewired. A goal transforms a drifter into a navigator. But this transformative power, this alchemy of ambition, is directly proportional to the quality of the goal itself. A weak, uninspiring, poorly designed goal will produce a weak, uninspired, and poorly designed life. A magnificent, compelling, and well-designed goal has the power to produce a magnificent, compelling, and well-designed life. Today we step into the role of the architect. Our work is not merely to have goals, but to design goals that are worthy of you. For you are a magnificent creation, capable of astonishing things, and you must not squander that potential on small ambitions. This brings me to a story. I once asked a man, a sincere, hard-working man, "So, what are your goals for this month?" He looked down at his shoes, shuffled his feet, and said with a heavy sigh, "Well, Mr. Rohn, if I could just scrape up enough money to pay these lousy bills." That was it. That was the sum of his ambition. That was the North Star of his existence. Now, let us be clear. Is paying the bills a necessary activity? Of course. Is it a worthy goal to drive your life? Absolutely not. It is a goal of survival, not a goal of arrival. It lacks the one ingredient that all great goals must possess: inspiration. You do not leap out of bed on a Monday morning with fire in your heart and joy in your soul because you get to go out into the world and scrape by. You don't wake up shouting, "Oh boy, another chance to pay off these debts." That kind of goal does not pull you. You must push yourself towards it every single grueling day. This is the tragedy of a small ambition. Most people don't aim too high and miss. They aim too low and hit. They set their sights on the comfortable, the realistic, and they achieve it, only to find themselves trapped on a plateau of mediocrity for the rest of their lives. So, what is the alternative? How do we as architects design a blueprint that inspires a masterpiece? A worthy goal, a goal that has the power to transform you, is built upon three foundational pillars. The first pillar is that a worthy goal must possess you. You see, a true goal isn't something you have, it's something that has you. It's a burning obsession. It's the first thing you think of when you wake up in the morning and the last thing on your mind before you fall asleep. A weak goal is something you must constantly push yourself toward with the brute force of discipline. This is exhausting. A worthy goal is a powerful magnet that pulls you forward. The vision of it is so compelling, so exciting, that it makes the hard work feel less like a chore and more like a privilege. Here is a simple test for your goals. Ask yourself this: does the thought of this goal make my heart beat faster? Does it make me want to get up and start working right now, this very second? If the answer is a lukewarm maybe, then it is not the right goal. You must find the goal that sets your soul on fire. That is a goal worthy of you. The second pillar is that a worthy goal must stretch you. This is a critical concept, and it connects directly to the ultimate purpose of setting goals, which we will discuss later. The primary purpose of a goal is not the acquisition of the thing. The primary purpose is the growth of the person. A goal must be set just outside your current reach. It must demand that you become more than you are today. If you can already achieve it with your current skills and your current character, it is not a goal, it is simply a task on your to-do list. Think of a rubber band. A rubber band sitting on a desk is a useless object. Its entire value is in its ability to be stretched. A human being is the same. Our true potential is only revealed when we are stretched by a powerful ambition. A goal that stretches you will force you to learn new skills. It will demand that you develop new disciplines. It will require you to become more courageous, more creative, more resourceful. The challenge of the goal is the very thing that will forge you into the person capable of achieving it. But here, we must also learn the art of balance. As the old text says, you must set your goals high, but not so high that they are out of sight. You must not set them so far out there that they overwhelm you with discouragement before you even begin. The key is to find the believable stretch, a goal that is big enough to inspire you, but just believable enough that a part of your mind says, you know, with a lot of work and a little bit of magic, I think I could actually do that. And the third pillar is that a worthy goal must be vivid. A vague goal is a weak goal. It has no magnetic power. I want to be rich is not a goal. It is a daydream. I want to be happy is a wonderful sentiment, but it is not a goal. A worthy goal is a high-definition Technicolor movie that you play in your mind. It must be clear. It must be specific. This is because a clear goal is a clear command to your subconscious mind, the powerful servant that works tirelessly to bring your vision into reality. To craft such a vivid goal, you must answer the architect's blueprint questions. First, what specifically do I want? Don't say more money. Say the exact number. Write it down to the last cent. Don't say a better house. Describe the house. How many rooms? What color are the walls? What does the view from the kitchen window look like? Specificity is power. Second, why do I want it? This is the emotional fuel. A goal without a powerful why is a body without a heart. It will not survive the first winter. Your why must be so compelling that it can make you weep. Is it for your family's security? Is it for the freedom to pursue your art? Is it to make a significant contribution to the world? A powerful why will carry you through anyhow. And third, by when will I achieve it? A goal without a deadline is just a dream. A deadline is what transforms a wish into a project. It creates a sense of urgency. It lights a fire under you. It forces you to get serious. Now, as you begin to design this blueprint, it is important to understand that a well-designed life is not a single room. It is a grand house with many rooms. You must set goals in a balanced way. You must, of course, have economic goals, goals for your career, your business, your income, your investments. These are essential. They provide the resources that make so many other things possible. But you must also have personal development goals. These are your things to become goals. What skills will you master? Will you learn a new language? Will you become an excellent public speaker? Will you develop the character trait of unshakable patience? These are the goals that focus on the true prize, who you are becoming. And you must have adventure and lifestyle goals. These are your things to do and things to see goals. These are the juice of life, the places you will travel, the experiences you will collect, the joy you will have. A life of all work and no play is not a success. It is an imbalance. Finally, we come to the first great act of creation. The moment you transform your goal from a mere thought into a tangible thing, you must write it down. The act of writing is a profound commitment. A thought is a vapor. A written word is a creation. When you write your goals down, you are taking them from the invisible world of the mind and giving them their first form in the physical world. Get a new, clean journal, a journal you will dedicate to your new life. And in this journal, write down your goals. Write them in the present tense, as if they are already an accomplished fact. I am so happy and grateful now that I am earning. I am enjoying my beautiful new home. Read this list every morning when you wake up. Read it every evening before you go to sleep. As you read, don't just see the words. See the reality. Feel the emotions of having already achieved it. This is how you begin the process. A well-defined, worthy goal that stretches and inspires you, that is balanced across the areas of your life, and that is written down and reviewed daily. This becomes a powerful magnet. It does not just pull you toward it, It begins to pull the circumstances, the people, and the opportunities you need towards you. This is the art of the architect's blueprint. Now that we have designed a blueprint worthy of you, we must understand the true nature of the prize. It is not the house you build, but the architect you become in the process. And that is the subject of our next discussion, the ultimate prize. It's not what you get, it's who you become. In our last session together, we stood in the workshop of the architect. We learned the art of designing a blueprint for our future, the craft of setting goals worthy of you. We learned that a worthy goal must inspire you, it must stretch you, and it must be vivid and clear in your mind. You now possess the what? You have the design for the magnificent structure you wish to build. But now, we must ask the most important question of all. It is the question that lies at the very heart of our entire discussion. It is the question that, once you understand its answer, will shift your entire perspective on success, ambition, and the purpose of your life. The question is this: what is the real prize? What is the ultimate purpose of setting and achieving a great goal? Our society has sold us a very simple and a very misleading answer. It has taught us that the purpose of the goal is to get the thing. The prize is the $1 million. The prize is the beautiful house. The prize is the corner office. The prize is the applause of the crowd. And so we chase. We spend our lives in a relentless pursuit of things. We chase the money, we chase the status, we chase the recognition, believing that once we finally acquire these things, we will have arrived. We believe that getting the prize will finally make us happy, fulfilled, and secure. But have you ever noticed the strange and quiet tragedy that often befalls those who succeed in this chase? The man who sacrifices his health, his family, and his integrity to get the $1 million, only to find himself rich but desperately lonely and spiritually bankrupt. The athlete who dedicates her entire life to winning the gold medal, and the day after she wins it, she feels a profound and terrifying emptiness. This is what is known as the arrival fallacy, the mistaken belief that the destination is the source of the joy. I am here today to suggest to you that our entire society has it backwards. The acquisition of things is a secondary, almost incidental benefit of setting goals. It is not the real prize. The true value of a goal, the ultimate prize, the real, lasting, and most precious treasure, is not what you get. It is who you become in the process of achieving it. Let me say that again, because this is the idea that must be etched into your soul. The goal is not the prize. The person is the prize. The growth, the development, the evolution of the self that is the ultimate purpose of ambition. Let me ask you, what is the greatest benefit of becoming a millionaire? Is it the $1 million? I assure you it is not. $1 million can be lost. A market can crash. A poor decision can wipe it all away. The real, unshakable value of becoming a millionaire is in the person you were forced to become to acquire that fortune. Think of the discipline you had to develop, the ability to manage your finances, to delay gratification, to choose long-term gain over short-term pleasure. That discipline is a form of wealth that can never be taken from you. Think of the courage you had to find, the courage to face your fears, to take calculated risks, to persevere through the winters of your journey when everyone else told you to quit. That courage is a form of wealth. Think of the skills you had to learn, the understanding of the marketplace, the ability to communicate, to negotiate, to lead. Those skills are a form of wealth. Think of the character that was forged in the fire of your challenges, the integrity, the resilience, the patience. That character is the most valuable asset you will ever possess. Let me paint a picture for you. The tale of two millionaires. The first millionaire wins the lottery. One day he is struggling, the next day a check for $1 million appears in his hand. He got the money, but did he become a millionaire? No. He still has the habits, the mindset, and the philosophy of a poor person. And what happens? You know the stories. He makes poor investments. He is surrounded by people who take advantage of him. Within a few years, the money is gone, and he is often left more broken and bitter than he was before. Why? Because the container was not big enough for the contents. He had the prize, but he had not become the person. Now, consider the second millionaire. She did not win the lottery. she earned her $1 million. She started with an idea. She worked on herself. She read the books. She developed the skills. She faced the failures. She built the business brick by brick over 10 hard years. In that process, she became a millionaire in her mind and in her character long before the bank account reflected it. Now, imagine a great economic winter comes and a market crash takes her entire fortune away. She is back to zero. Is she destroyed? No. She is disappointed, of course, but she is not defeated. Why? Because the money was never the real prize. The person she became, the disciplined, courageous, skillful, resilient architect, that was the prize. And no one can take that away from her. She looks at the rubble and says, well, now I know a better way to build it. And she goes out and does it all again, faster and better this time. Who was the truly wealthy person? This understanding must change your entire approach to your goals. You are not just chasing an external object. You are engaged in the sacred work of self-creation. The goal is simply the tool that life uses to shape you. It is the chisel that the universe uses to chip away all the parts of you that are not excellent, to reveal the masterpiece that lies within. This is why the question we ask ourselves is so critical. The weak question is, what do I need to do to get what I want? That is the question of the laborer. The powerful question, the question of the architect, is this: what kind of person must I become to attract all that I truly want? This is the most important question for your journal. I want you to spend some serious time with it. Make a list. Not a list of things to get, but a list of things to become. What skills must you master? What character traits must you build? What knowledge must you acquire? What health habits must you adopt? This list is your new set of goals. This is your personal development roadmap, because you must understand this law. Income rarely exceeds personal growth. Sometimes your income might take a lucky jump. You get a surprise promotion or a windfall. But if your personal growth does not catch up to it, if you do not become the person who is worthy of that income, the law of averages will pull you back down. It is like stretching a rubber band. If you don't hold it, it will snap back to its original size. You must grow to be able to hold your success. This is why honest self-evaluation is so critical. You must constantly ask yourself, here is what I want. Am I currently the kind of person who can attract and keep this? If the answer is no, then you have your work assignment. The work is not out there, the work is on you. This is not a message of discouragement. It is a message of ultimate empowerment. It means you do not have to wait for the world to give you what you want. You can start today the process of becoming the person who can create what you want. And here's the beautiful mystery of it all. As the transcript so wisely noted, your ability will grow to match your dreams. You do not have to be the finished product before you begin. You simply have to be willing to start the process. The man I was 25 years ago, when I first met my mentor, that man could not have handled the life I have today. He was a stranger to the person I am now. But the pursuit of worthy goals changed me. The challenges changed me. The learning changed me. So do not let your past failures hold you back. The past is gone. It was merely a training ground. You do not have to be who you were yesterday. Today, you can start the process of becoming someone astonishingly different. Let your goals be the catalyst. Let them be the fire that forges you. Focus on the person you are becoming. And I promise you, the things you once thought were the prize will begin to show up in your life. Not as things you desperately chased, but as the natural, inevitable reflection of the magnificent person you have chosen to become. Now that we understand the true prize, we must explore the practical mechanics of how we begin to claim it. We must learn the simple, profound act of asking. We have now uncovered the ultimate prize. The profound secret that the goal is not the object you acquire, but the person you become. This is the great turning point in your understanding of ambition. And to truly embark on this journey of becoming, it requires a community. It requires a place to return to sharpen your thinking and renew your resolve. If this philosophy resonates with you, If you are committed to the journey of becoming more than you are, then I invite you to make a simple but powerful commitment now. Subscribe to this channel. Let this be your first act of investing in the person you wish to become. Make this your library, your workshop for ideas. Make the commitment, and let us continue this journey of transformation together. In our last session, we reached a profound conclusion. We discovered that the true purpose of a worthy goal is not what it allows you to get, but who it forces you to become. The discipline, the character, the skills, the resilience that is the ultimate prize. This is the why. This is the great purpose that fuels our ambition. But now we must turn our attention to the how. How do we begin this magnificent process of transformation? How do we signal to the universe, and more importantly, to our own subconscious mind, that we are serious about this new life we intend to build? How do we start the engine? The ancient texts, the books of wisdom that have stood the test of time, give us the simplest, most powerful, and most frequently neglected instruction on how to get what we want in life. The instruction is contained in a single three-letter word: ask. That's it. The full promise is, ask and you shall receive. It is an amazing and almost unbelievable promise. The very act of asking is said to start the machinery of receiving. It presses a button in the unseen world. It unlocks something emotionally, spiritually, and practically. And yet, this is the very step that most people miss. They study the root of the apple tree for so long, they forget to pick the fruit. They are so busy with the labor of life that they forget the purpose of that labor. I remember a fellow I once talked to, a good man, a sincere, hard-working man, but he was broke. He told me, "Mr. Rohn, I work hard from sun up to sundown. I come home exhausted. I eat, I rest, I go to bed. I simply don't have time to be sitting up at night asking. And I understood his sincerity, but I also understood his poverty. He had mastered the art of working, but he had not yet learned the art of asking. And that, my friends, makes all the difference. So today, we must explore this forgotten art. Why is it so powerful? And why do so many of us fail to do it? First, we must understand why we don't ask. There are several powerful reasons that keep us in a state of silent desire. The first and most obvious is the fear of rejection. We are taught from a young age that hearing the word no is a painful experience. And so to avoid the potential pain of rejection, we simply choose not to ask. We would rather live with the quiet certainty of having nothing than risk the sharp sting of being denied. The second reason is a feeling of unworthiness. Deep down, many people do not feel they deserve to ask for great things. They carry a subconscious belief that a life of abundance, of joy, of success is for other people, not for them. And so they do not ask because in their heart, they do not believe they are worthy of receiving. The third reason is simple: timidity. We don't want to be a bother. We don't want to seem too aggressive, too ambitious. And so we ask for less than we truly want, hoping the world will somehow read our minds and give us more. But the most common reason of all that people fail to ask is the fog of ambiguity. Most people's desires are vague, cloudy wishes. They want more money. They want to be happy. They want a better life. These are not requests. These are sentiments. You cannot go to a fine restaurant and tell the waiter, "Just bring me some food." They would not know what to do. You must be specific. Most people don't ask because they simply haven't taken the time to clearly define what it is they truly want. And a vague request will always be met with a vague result. This is why the act of asking is so powerful. It is not an act of begging. Begging comes from a place of weakness and lack. The kind of asking we are discussing today is an act of clarity and power. It is the act of an architect presenting a finished blueprint. The primary power of asking is that it forces you to define what you want. The moment you decide to ask, you must move from the world of the vague to the world of the specific. It is the first crucial step in turning an invisible dream into a visible reality. This is the act that starts the machinery of receiving. So, how do we master this art? How do we ask in a way that guarantees a response? There are three disciplines of powerful asking. First, you must ask with intelligence. This is the discipline of clarity. You must know exactly what you want and you must write it down. I cannot overstate the importance of a written list of your goals. A goal that is not written down is a mere wish. It is a vapor. It has no substance. The moment you take a pen and write your goal on a piece of paper, you have performed an act of creation. You have taken a thought from your mind and given it its first physical form. Be specific. Do not write, I want to be rich. That is the language of a child. Write, I will earn $100,000 in the next 12 months. Do not write, I want a nice car. Write, I will own a black Mercedes-Benz S-Class. Define what you want, how much, what kind, what color, what model, by what deadline. This clarity is what transforms your goal into a magnet. The more specific you are, the more powerfully it will pull you and the resources you need towards it. Second, you must ask with faith. This is the discipline of belief. You must ask with the unwavering conviction that it is possible for you to receive what you are asking for. Think of the faith of a child. A child does not ask for a gift for their birthday with a long list of reasons why it probably won't happen. They ask with a pure, unshakable belief. They can see it, they can feel it, they can taste it. They live in the joyful expectation of its arrival. We, as adults, must learn to blend that childlike faith with our adult intelligence. We must ask without the poison of cynicism. We must ask without the shadow of our past failures. To ask for a great success while simultaneously entertaining the thought that this will probably never work for me is an act of self-sabotage. You are driving a car with one foot on the accelerator and one foot firmly on the brake. You must learn to ask with your whole heart, with a faith that says, I do not know the exact path, but I know the destination is available to me. And third, you must ask with gratitude. This is the discipline of receptivity. This is the most advanced and most powerful way to ask. It is the art of being thankful in advance. When you ask with gratitude, you are aligning your emotional state with the reality of having already received. It is a profound statement of faith. You are not just hoping for it. You are thanking the universe for the fact that it is already on its way. This attitude of gratitude opens up all the channels of receiving. It puts you on the right frequency to attract the very thing you are asking for. Intelligence, faith, and gratitude. These are the three disciplines of a master asker. But now, we must address the final and most important question. Who exactly are we asking? Are you asking your boss for a raise? Yes, that is a form of asking. Are you asking your customers for a sale? Yes, but there is a deeper form of asking that must come first. The most important asking you will ever do is not what you ask of the world, it is what you ask of yourself. You must stand in front of the mirror and ask yourself for the discipline to do what is necessary. You must ask yourself for the courage to face your fears and push past the point of resistance. You must ask yourself for the commitment to work harder on yourself than you do on your job. You must ask yourself to become the person worthy of the great goals you have set. Because life does not give you what you want. Life gives you what you are. And the process of asking with clarity, with faith, with gratitude is what begins the process of transforming you into the person who is a vibrational match for the very things you are asking for. The asking is the hard part. The receiving, that's the easy part. Once you have done the difficult work of defining your dream and becoming the person you need to be, you will find that the universe has a way of meeting you more than halfway. So do not be the sincere, hard-working, but broke man who is too busy to ask. Take the time, get your journal, and begin the simple, profound, life-altering act of asking. Start the machinery. In our journey together, we have established some profound and powerful truths. We have learned that a worthy dream has the alchemical power to transform our very being. We have learned the art of the architect, how to design goals that are worthy of us. We have uncovered the ultimate prize that the person we become is far more valuable than the things we get. And we have mastered the first mechanical step of creation, the simple, profound act of asking. You now have your goals. They are clear, they are written down, they are inspiring, they are worthy of you. But now, We must face the chaos of daily life. The architect may have a magnificent blueprint, but the construction site is a whirlwind of activity. There are 100 different tasks demanding your attention. The phone is ringing. The emails are piling up. There are distractions. There are interruptions. There are small, urgent fires that need to be put out. This is where the average person, even with the best of intentions, gets lost. They have a dream, but their daily life is a chaotic reaction to external demands. They live under the tyranny of the urgent, and they sacrifice the important on the altar of the immediate. This brings us to a crucial realization. A goal is not just a destination you hope to reach someday. A well-defined goal is the ultimate management system for your life, starting today. Today we will learn how to use your goals to bring order to the chaos, to bring purpose to your days, and to bring a new level of effectiveness to everything you do. Let me give you an analogy. Imagine a juggler in his hands. He has several balls. Some of the balls are made of rubber. Some of the balls are made of glass. Now, the professional juggler knows the difference. If he drops a rubber ball, it will bounce. It's not a catastrophe. But if he drops a glass ball, it will shatter. The drifter, the person without clear goals, is a poor juggler. Their life is a frantic attempt to keep all the balls in the air. The ringing phone is a ball. An unimportant email is a ball. A request from a colleague is a ball. And in their frantic attempt to catch all the bouncing rubber balls, they inevitably drop the glass ones. The glass balls are your health, your family, your major life projects, your financial future. They drop the important to save the urgent. A clear set of goals is what teaches you the difference between the glass balls and the rubber balls. It becomes the ultimate filter for your decisions. It is the great simplifier of a complex life. With a clear goal in mind, you now have a new standard for every choice, for every request on your time, for every opportunity that presents itself. You can ask one simple, powerful question. Does this move me closer to my goals? This question is your new North Star. It is the compass that will guide you through the fog of daily distractions. It gives you the power and the justification to say no. And learning to say no is one of the greatest skills of a successful person. You can say no to the unimportant meeting, to the trivial request, to the mindless distraction, not because you are selfish, but because you have a prior commitment to your own future. Now let's break down how this management system works in the 4 key areas of your life. First, goals solve the puzzle of time management. People everywhere want to manage their time better. They buy planners, they use apps, they try all sorts of techniques. But here is a vital truth. You cannot manage your time effectively if you do not have clear goals. If you don't know your destination, managing your time is just busy work. It's like neatly arranging the deck chairs on the Titanic. It looks productive, but the ship is still going in the wrong direction. The true art of time management is not about scheduling every second of your day. It is about understanding the seasons of your life. Just like a farmer knows that spring is for planting. It is a season of intense, focused, massive action from sun up to sundown. He does not try to take a long vacation in the spring. He knows it is a critical window of opportunity. He also knows that winter is a season to rest, to reflect, to repair his tools, and to plan for the next year. He does not try to plant in the frozen ground of winter. You must learn to use your seasons. When you are in a spring of opportunity for one of your major goals, that is the time to push, to work the long hours. When you have just completed a major project and are in an autumn harvest, that is a time to celebrate, but also to plan and prepare for the next winter. Do not let your life blur into one long, monotonous grind. Let your goals inform the appropriate use of your time for the season you are in. Second, goals solve the puzzle of priority management. This is the art of separating the majors from the minors in your life. Most people spend their lives majoring in minor things. They spend major time on minor conversations, major emotional energy on minor slights, and major money on minor trinkets. Your written list of goals is what defines your majors. Everything else is a minor. And you must live by this simple but profound rule. Do not spend major time on minor things. The salesperson knows that the only major time is the time spent in front of a prospect. Everything else, the paperwork, the travel, the preparation, is a minor. The writer knows that the only major time is the time spent with their hands on the keyboard writing. You must identify the major activities that will lead to the fulfillment of your goals, and you must guard the time you allocate to them with a fierce jealousy. Do not allow your major time to be stolen by minor interruptions. And this rule also applies to your finances. Do not spend major money on minor things. Do not skimp on the major things. Invest in your growth. Invest in your education. Feed your mind, not just your appetites. Third, goal solve the puzzle of focus management. This is the power of concentration. In our modern world, focus is a superpower. And it is a superpower that is under constant assault. Think of the power of the sun. The scattered sunlight on a cool day can warm your skin. But if you take that same sunlight and, using a magnifying glass, you concentrate it onto a single point, it can start a fire. Your mind is that sunlight. Scattered, it is weak. Concentrated, it is a force of incredible power. A clear goal is the magnifying glass for your mind. It gives you a single point on which to focus your mental energy. When you are working, really work. Put your phone in another room. Close the extra tabs on your computer. Give the task at hand the gift of your full, undivided attention. And when you are playing, really play. When you are with your family, be with your family. Be present. Don't be daydreaming about work. Even daydreaming has its place. But, as the transcript wisely suggests, you must learn to schedule it. Don't daydream while you are pretending to work. If you need to dream, schedule 30 minutes and go for a walk and let your mind wander. Control your focus. Concentrate your power. And fourth, goal solve the puzzle of emotional management. This is a subtle but powerful benefit. A clear set of goals acts as a psychological anchor in the storms of life. Life will throw you curveballs. Things will happen that you did not expect. You will face setbacks. The person without goals is adrift in these moments. Their emotions are tossed and turned by the waves of circumstance. They feel lost. But the person with clear, written goals has an anchor. They may be rocked by the storm, but they are not lost. They have a destination that transcends the temporary turmoil of the day. Their goals provide a sense of purpose, a reason to persevere, a light that shines even in the darkest of winters. This provides an incredible sense of emotional stability. So you see, a goal is not just a destination. It is a tool. It is a management system. It brings order to the chaos. It simplifies the complex. It provides a framework for a well-lived, effective, and purposeful life. Now, a final reality check. Even with the best goals and the best management system, you will not get everything you want. Why? Because it's not a perfect world. The crops sometimes fail. It rains on the parade. But I will make you this promise. If you follow this system, if you use your goals to manage your time, your priorities, and your focus, you will get plenty. You will achieve more and become more than you ever thought possible. You do not have to take my word for it, just try. And that brings us to our final discussion, the 90-day challenge. We have come to the end of our time together, but we have arrived at the true beginning of your new life. We have journeyed through the magnificent architecture of a life by design. We began with the two great truths, that without a dream we perish, and that with a dream we are reborn. We explored the alchemy of ambition, discovering how a worthy goal can fundamentally rewire our very being. We stood in the architect's workshop and learned how to design goals that are worthy of us. We uncovered the ultimate prize, the profound realization that the person we become is far more valuable than the things we get. We mastered the simple, powerful mechanics of asking, learning to place our order with the universe with clarity and faith. And we have just finished assembling the ultimate management system for life, using our goals to bring order and purpose to our days. The blueprints are now in your hands. The knowledge has been shared. The philosophies have been explored. But let me tell you a final, sobering truth. A blueprint, no matter how magnificent, if it is admired and then filed away in a drawer, will build nothing. A map, no matter how accurate, will not carry you 1 inch closer to your destination if you do not take the first step. Knowledge that is not translated into action is merely a burden. It is the great tragedy of the modern age, to be drowning in information but starving for wisdom and results. Today, we move from the seminar to the starting line. We move from philosophy to action. It is not enough to know what to do. The time has come to actually do it. And so I will leave you not with a final idea, but with a challenge. A simple, powerful, and life-altering challenge. It is a framework for taking all that we have discussed and turning it into a living, breathing reality in your own life. I call it the 90-day challenge. Now, why 90 days? There is a certain magic in that time frame. It is long enough to build a new set of habits, to see tangible results, and to create real momentum. Yet, it is short enough to feel manageable, to maintain a high level of focus and intensity without burning out. Think of it in terms of the seasons we discussed. 90 days is roughly 1 season. What I am asking of you is to give me 1 season of your life. Give me 1 spring of intense, focused, disciplined effort, and I promise you, the autumn harvest that follows will be almost unrecognizable to you. A lifetime of old habits, of neglect of good enough, has immense inertia. It is like a massive supertanker sailing in the wrong direction. You cannot turn a supertanker with a gentle nudge. A small, half-hearted effort will do nothing. To turn the ship, you must hold the rudder firmly and consistently in the new direction for a sustained period. Only then will the great ship slowly, but surely, begin to change its course. This 90-day challenge is your act of holding the rudder. It is a period of concentrated power designed to shatter your old patterns and establish a new trajectory for your life. So, what is the game plan? How does the architect engage in this 90-day season of transformation? It is a simple 4-step process. Step 1 is the declaration. This must be done within the first 24 hours. The power of a new decision is at its peak in the moment it is made. You must not let that energy dissipate. Tonight or tomorrow morning at the latest, I want you to go to a quiet place with that new journal we spoke of. And you must perform the act of asking. Write down your goals for this 90-day period. Be specific. Be clear. Do not be timid. What is the 1 major goal you wish to make significant progress on in the next 90 days? What are the 2 or 3 smaller supporting goals? Write them down with clarity, with faith, and with a deadline. 90 days from today, this is your declaration. This is the contract you are making with your future self. Step 2 is to create your becoming curriculum. This is the work for your first week. Remember the ultimate prize? It is not what you get, it's who you become. Based on the goals you have just written down, you must now ask the great question, what kind of person must I become to achieve these goals? Your answer to that question becomes your curriculum for the next 90 days. What is the 1 new skill you must begin to learn? Is it public speaking? Is it sales? Is it managing your finances? Identify it, and for the next 90 days, commit to studying and practicing that skill with diligence. What is the 1 character trait you must develop? Is it patience? Is it courage? Is it discipline itself? Identify it and make it your conscious focus for the next 90 days. Your goals will demand a better version of you. Your becoming curriculum is your plan for creating that person. Step 3 is to establish your daily disciplines. This is the heart of the 90 days. The entire challenge is won or lost in your daily routine. You must identify a small handful of non-negotiable disciplines that, when practiced consistently for 90 days, will inevitably lead to progress. Do not make this complicated. The power is in the simplicity and the consistency. Your list might look something like this. I will read 10 pages of a good book every single day. A book that feeds my mind and supports my goals. I will move my body for 30 minutes every single day. A walk, a workout, something to create energy and vitality. I will review my written goals every single morning and every single evening. This keeps the blueprint at the front of my mind. I will keep my journal every single day to capture ideas, to track progress, and to learn the lessons of the day. Choose your disciplines. Make them simple. make them clear, and then for 90 days you do them, no matter what. This is not about feeling like it. This is about commitment. And step 4 is to acknowledge the reality check. As we have discussed, this is not a perfect world. Will you achieve every single goal perfectly in 90 days? Perhaps not. Will you have days where you stumble? Almost certainly. The purpose of this challenge is not perfection. The purpose is progress and transformation. The goal is not to have a perfect 90 days. The goal is to be a profoundly different person at the end of those 90 days than you were at the beginning. So what is the promise of this challenge? What can you expect if you give it your all for one single season of your life? I promise you, the greatest change will not be in your bank account or on the scale, though those things will almost certainly begin to change. The greatest change will be internal. You will have built the muscle of discipline. You will have proven to yourself through daily action that you are a person who does what they say they will do. You will have developed a new level of self-respect, the quiet internal pride that comes from keeping a promise to yourself is a form of wealth that no one can take from you. You will have created momentum. The 90-day challenge is not the finish line. It is the starting block. Its purpose is to create a new powerful momentum that will carry you forward for the next year and the next and the next. And finally, you will have a new sense of belief in yourself. You will have tangible proof that you are in fact the architect. You will have seen with your own eyes how a focused, disciplined effort can begin to reshape your reality. I have seen this work in my own life. I have seen it work in the lives of thousands of others, and I know it can work for you. So do not let this just be another interesting seminar. Do not let these ideas fade into the background of your busy life. I challenge you, give yourself this gift. Take a chance on your own potential. Give yourself permission to become all that you are capable of becoming. Just try. Give it 90 days and watch what happens. I promise you, you will never be the same again. This is the promise of the 90-day challenge. It is not just about the results you will get. It is about the person you will become. And this journey of personal development is lifelong. If you are ready to accept this challenge, if you are ready to begin the most exciting adventure of your life, then I invite you one final time to make this channel your constant companion. Subscribe now and turn on notifications. Join a community of individuals who are also on this path, who are committed to designing a life of purpose and achievement. The blueprints are now in your hands. The time for planning is over. The time for building is now. Go and build your masterpiece.